That was so funny. That was funny.
Sorry about being late.
Everybody ready?
Man, hold on, this is a little too tall.
You're still growing, aren't you, Coach?
All right. I know that.
Hey, Coach, after watching the film, and you're a little critical of your team on turnovers, or are you still critical after watching the film and taking a little of the first type eye off of it?
I am still critical because it's like unforced. I mean, we've been doing this for too long. This has been going on for a couple months of just careless turnovers, and guys just, I don't know what they're thinking at the moment, but we do have to be more conscious of what's going on in the game.
Some of those errors, like the ones where they pass up and they like step out of bounds going to the bucket, it seemed like they were in the offense, but it just was that a concentration? Do you think it's concentration? Or?
I think they're supposed to shoot that ball instead of pump faking it and driving it to the basket. Those are the ones that hurt the most because you're open and you're trying to create another play that isn't there, and then you turn the ball over. So it still goes back to the youth.
Has South Florida changed much since you guys saw them last? Are they doing anything different?
I mean, they're playing hard. I mean, LaQuincy Rideau, the point guard, had a horrible game, was in foul trouble, and didn't play really well. He usually plays well. As he goes, they go. And when he's been playing well. You know, he's a guy that's going to play both ends of the floor and be a leader, a vocal leader, and do all the things they need to do to win. So, yeah, they're playing differently because they feel like they let one go to us in South Florida. And they won a couple games back-to-back that have been pretty convincing.
Hey, after what happened last night in the conference with Tulsa getting beat at home, Wichita getting beat at home, there's no need to remind these guys not to take this team for granted?
No, we did that against SMU. We can't afford to lose any more home games. I mean, you don't take anybody for granted. You don't overlook anybody. But we just have to lock in and be ready to play tomorrow.
Yeah, speaking to that, the youth thing, they didn't really pay that much attention to USF when we went down there. Now you got the win, but they can't think, well, we can just turn it on whenever we get ready.
I don't think that's on their minds anymore. I think that was early, but now they have full respect for this conference for sure.
You lose DJ, obviously you feel bad in that moment. Then you come back, you win 2 games in a row, and in the last game you look probably the best you've looked in a while. Is there a way to still feel better about your team moving forward, even when you lose a guy like that, if you can get the rest of the guys to play to that level?
Yeah, I mean, even though we all feel bad for DJ, you have to get your guys believing in themselves. And we have a pretty confident bunch. These guys feel like when a teammate goes down, that they can step in and get the job done. Different guys are stepping up, and we're actually scoring more points with less guys, which is crazy, but it's still, the confidence is building in these guys saying, hey, we can go on a run until DJ gets back.
How important is Lester to this piece? It looks like when he gets going, the whole team sort of gets going.
No, he's huge. He's a guy that we need to score. Of course, he's going to guard the better player on the other team, rebound the basketball, and yeah, when he's going offensively, then we're pretty good.
A couple of weeks ago about Boogie, you said he just needs more minutes, but you can't just always work him in. The fact that the minutes they're playing now, they have to play because of being limited, is that increasing their confidence versus knowing that they're just playing like reserve minutes?
I think they were already playing good minutes, but we were trying to win the game. I think that there's only a certain amount of time that you have in the game before we go, all right, we got to go with someone else. And that's what happened with Boogie early. He was in a slump, and we went with Tyler and Alo. Now Boogie's playing well. We're playing Boogie more. So we're not trying to go out there and just pacify guys or make enough minutes for this guy or that guy. Your play dictates that, and we're trying to win the basketball game.
Talk about, you talk about confidence, how Malco's starting to, it seems like he's getting much more comfortable in his role with the team.
Well, as the year's going on, his body's starting to feel better. I mean, he's coming off 2 knee surgeries, and you get back on the court, but you're still not mentally or physically there. Even though you've been approved to go back out and everything feels fine in the beginning, once you get into a game, then the energy and the nervous energy and all that stuff, the anxiety, it just kind of overtakes your body, and you got to get used to that. And I think Malcolm is starting to get used to that now.
Is he at the point now where you can start really counting on him for the minutes that he gave you in this last game?
Well, I mean, the more minutes he plays, I think that he's going to be good. He does have some ailments sometimes with his knee being a little stiff sometimes when he goes in, but other than that, I think he'll be okay. But we do count on him and his minutes.
Hey, Coach, you're in the top 5 in defense in most categories. What is the ceiling for this team defensively?
Well, it can get better because of communication. I think that right now we're sitting pretty because with having freshmen and sophomores playing, you usually don't get the defensive side, you get the offensive side. So I'm really proud of that. But the ceiling is still high. I think that if we continue to stick with the game plan and communicate, these guys can be even better defensively.
Talk a little bit about Precious. He got that, I think, Julius Irving watch list, and that's quite an honor for a freshman. I think he's the only freshman that's on that list, and getting his play back up to the level where he's getting you that, not just a 13 and 10 like he had last time, but maybe an 18, 12, 20, and 10.
Yeah, I think first of all, that's huge for Precious and our team for him to be, recognized with the Julius Irving, one of the guys nominated for it. His play has been up and down because teams are playing him differently, but we need his energy for the entire game. I think that 13 and 10 he can do in his sleep. He's a guy, he needs to turn the level up. Right now it's time for us to go into overdrive and kick it up, and as he goes, we go. So just a double-double, it's unfair for a freshman to say that's not enough. We need major double-doubles, because with DJ being down, we're going to need more from everyone.
You mentioned scoring more points with fewer guys. Is that something that's easy to pinpoint why that's happening or how that's happening, or is
Yeah, I think it's just the guys that you have left are more buying in, understanding that we need each other. I think when you have the whole crew, guys try to do it more individually.
You feel like shot selection's better too, kind of going along with that question, or is it literally confidence, or what is it?
I think it's both. I think it's shot selection and confidence. I think that we're making more threes now. I think they take it more seriously now because they know that we're down to a certain amount of players on the team, and that we can't go out there and make bad decisions shooting the basketball like we were in the past. We used to take these shots we'd be up 8-10 going on a run, and we'll take 2 or 3 shots in a row and the team will be back in the game. We don't really do that anymore. So I think we're taking more pride in what shots we take, and plus we've kind of narrowed down the things that they can do offensively, and then I handle the rest, so that's kind of helping as well.
You
Is
feel
South
like
Florida a tough matchup for you guys because they are a team that forces a lot of turnovers, and you guys sort of struggle with that?
Well, any team that's forcing turnovers is going to be tough for us because we already do it enough to ourselves. But, it's just a challenge. But at home, I think the kids will be okay. We're not overlooking them. We know they're going to come in hungry. They're well coached, and they have a veteran team. And they're going to play hard.
Hey, Damian doesn't have. Go ahead.
I was saying that was pretty much, I was talking about South Florida too, so you're good.
Okay, Damian has a really good game. He don't score a lot of points, but he does a lot of little things. How valuable is he to the Kogo production with his team?
Yeah, he's very valuable because he's one of the guys that can defend 94 feet, put pressure on the ball, go rebound, and make plays. He does a lot for us, so we really depend on him to do those things. He's very valuable.
Where's your head right now? After you've had a lot of ups and downs. Now it's back up. Where's your head right now?
Well, it's just locked in on the next game. I'm all about the next moment, so can't worry about what happened in the past. The next game, I'm all on South Florida right now and having to win that game.
You said,
Good. Any word on their big man, Michael Durr?
He
He's a real
was
force.
injured, but I don't know if he's back yet. We won't know until tomorrow.
If he plays, are y'all gonna will that affect the rotation at all? It's good Malcolm's coming on. I mean, maybe we see some guys that you might throw at him.
Well, I mean, Malcolm started in the game at South Florida in the first half. He started and then played maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes in the second half, and didn't play anymore. We put Precious at the 5. So it's great to have options, but I don't think we're going to do anything differently than we did down there. So we're going to play our normal rotation and see where it goes. If we need other guys to play different positions, then we'll just have to make those adjustments.
Who has most pleasantly surprised you on your team this year?
I think all of these guys, and that's just not being a political answer, because these are freshmen that can play. There's a lot of pressure on these guys coming in with having the #1 recruiting class, and they're stepping up to the test. And I can't just pick one guy that I can say. Precious, I can say because he changed his game from trying to be an outside guy. He wanted to be all outside, 90%, 10% inside. We kind of flipped it. And I was looking at an article on Monty Williams in the NBA talking about DeAndre Ayton, 80-20 rule, 80 inside, 20 outside. That's kind of what we want with Precious because he's more dominant on the inside.
hey, Coach, you said every game is a must-win for you guys. Are you worried about putting too much pressure on your guys with doing that?
I talked about that last week. That's what our coaches talk about. We never go to the guys and go, we got to win. We must win. We just prepare them. But to me and our staff, we know what's going on. We're veterans in the game and understand what's you got to protect home court. We never go to the guys and go, it's a must win.
But they get that, right? Like,
Yeah, well, they
look
do
at
it. They
themselves.
understand themselves. Like, okay, they're doing the numbers. They're looking at, okay, we're not in the rankings anymore. We have 8 games left, and this is what has to happen. So we don't have to. These kids understand what's going on.
Who's dominating your hustle board right now?
If I have to say dominating it, we haven't really been keeping it as much this year. But I would have to say guys like Precious and Damian Ball and Lester. Those 3 guys will be up there in Halo.
When you do
Those
keep
4.
up with it, is that something they compete for? Is to be
Yeah.
top there?
Anytime you put competition up and have guys competing for to get an award or be the top of something, they're always going to compete, whether it's in the weight room or on the court. So, yeah, I'm thinking probably Lester, Precious, Alo will be the guys right now.
Coach, one more thing for me. You think you're talking about, got so many games left, and we're not ranking it. Do you think are you looking for someone to have that backs against the wall mentality, or for that to come out in the players? Because I know you don't want to put pressure on them yourself to do that.
I think if you go to a high major college and you understand what you want to do, I think wanting to win a national championship, wanting to make it to the NCAA tournament, all those things, that's what you live for. I don't think it's pressure. I think it's just a goal, and you try to meet that goal, and let your talent do the talking. I don't think it's to a point that where it's life or death. I think it's just really just understanding this is our goal, and we have to play hard to get to those goals.
Time for one more.
Talk about Boogie a lot, about being constantly in the gym, being a perfectionist. Is there anything else that he has that's like led to his emergence, I guess?
Studying more film with me. Boogie and I were studying film early, and then he kind of broke it off. He always stayed in the gym, but I think seeing himself on film more and understanding what's going on has really helped him in certain situations as well.
Who got him there? Did you sort of say?
Yeah, it's time to start back.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And then me and him started meeting daily, watching film.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.